So you're finally looking to get serious, man, about taking on Chimera clan boss. What is up, guys? This is Cobb. Welcome to some of the best epic champions that you can possibly pick up on your account. Relatively accessible stuff to take on Chimera, with a few gameplay examples sprinkled in, man. Very first pick, let's just get Geomancer out of the way, man. I'm sick of talking about Geomancer on this channel. He brings HP bin, he brings weaken, he brings crazy max HP percentage boss damage. Just best epic in the game. Okay, done. Next up, man, we've got the Void epic Inquisitor Chimera. Man, this guy's actually great, right? Pretty damn good single target damage when he gets off a crap load of counterattacks with his A1 with his kit, which is lovely because, of course, he has the ability to decrease the duration of a random buff on an enemy by 1 turn every time he gets this A1 off, and so he's peeling buffs all the time from the Chimera clan boss, which is actually very, very clutch. Comes in hugely clutch against Viper form, and he's got a pretty hard-hitting A2 as well, man. Triple hitter, 3-turn cooldown, worth bucking up for the damage alone. It's 35% bonus damage on the skill and doesn't take that many bucks, and of course it ignores a portion of the enemy's defense as well. Now, I know that this example team has an Ugo in it, so Ugo's bringing a block buffs, but if you happen to not have a block buffs in your team, honestly, the Geomancer and Chimera combo works pretty well as well. They're under veil right now, so you can't really see him. Okay, there we go, man. We've got the Chimera on the far right over here, and then the Geo on the far left. Hopefully not too blocked off by my camera. He's a short little guy after all, but they both work together very, very nicely if you don't have a block buffs champion. Why? Because they're always peeling buffs off of the enemy, right? The Geomancer, as well as bringing solid damage, is bringing buff steal, I believe on his A2 skill. And of course the Chimera, as we've already touched on, is stealing all kinds of buffs, not stealing buffs, but reducing the duration of buffs against Chimera with his A1 as well. And remember, he triggers his counterattack skill anytime the Chimera places any debuffs on you as well, as you just saw there. Also, so together they're like a pretty decent little damage combo, with the bonus of keeping the Chimera's buffs under control. And yes, you will be seeing various kind of adaptations of this team that you're looking at right now as this video progresses, just with different epic champions kind of tagged in. But yeah, that's the Geo, that's the Chimera showcased. Not gonna set the world on fire with their damage, but it's overall pretty good. Before we get to the next epics on this list, we've got some really off-meta epic champions that we're going to cover in this one, some that you might not really consider. Hey, if you're looking to start off a new raid account in 2025, the best possible way that you can get that done is by using my Beginner promo link, which you can find down below the top of the video description box, man. If you're looking to start off a new free-to-play adventure, this is the link to do it. If you've got a friend who's looking to start playing Raid Shadow Legends, that is the link to send them, man. Just use that link to create your new account, man. All the freebies that you see on screen right now will be yours, including Thorlin Foulbeard, as long as you use beginner promo code Demon Slayer on day 1 of your new free-to-play account. Okay, man, back to the epics. Next up, man, we got Gwyneth. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one, man. This is a bit of an off-meta one. It's the first of a few off-meta picks that are going to feature in this list, but Gwyneth is actually pretty good. You get her from, I think, normal mode Doom Tower secret rooms. I might just be making that up. Turns out I'm not making that up. That's actually completely true. I just checked up my other screen. Okay, so she's got an attack all enemies A1 that doesn't trigger counterattacks. Kind of whatever in the context of Chimera. On the A2, she brings a 3-turn cooldown. Attack one enemy before attacking, 100% chance buck to placing weaken debuff on the target for 2 turns. Also heals herself and all allies by any surplus heal. So a little bit of extra healing. Weaken debuff before she hits is just a nice bonus to have. Just a nice reliable source of weaken debuff. She also brings transfer all debuffs from this champion to one target enemy, then attacks that enemy, ignores 10% of the target's defense for each debuff they are under. That's key. So not only is she taking care of debuffs that are placed all up and on herself, right, and there's a lot of them, especially when you're up against Viper form, it could be a real problem in Chimera, but she's also ignoring basically like, what, 80-90% defense? Like, a good Chimera team should have a hell of a lot of debuffs against Chimera, right? Decrease attack, decrease defense, decrease speed, potentially HP burns. Don't know if I mentioned weaken, but we'll throw that in there. There's just a lot. And so this thing can actually hit deceptively hard, at least so I hear. This is not a champion I'm going to be able to showcase, sadly, on this list. I don't have my Gwyneth built, what can I say? And it's a similar case for Bloodfeather. Would you think about that, dude? Good old Bloodfeather, man. Why is this such a weird pick to have on the list? She's pretty solid into Chimera, but she's also a fusion component epic to complete the Rajan Scarhide fusion. And so that's what most people use her for. They never look at the champion ever again. They just assume that she's a piece of crap. But you know what? She's actually pretty good into Chimera, man. She's got an attack one enemy, extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Not bad, given that this is part of all of her abilities, right? You just have to build your Bloodfeather with 70% crit rate. On her A2, she brings a 3-turn cooldown bucked, plays decreased defense debuff for 2 turns, then attacks one enemy. Great stuff, not bad. Decreased defense is a good one to bring. And she also brings a reliable source of decreased speed. This is premium, and this is really, really good, right? It also decreases 10 meters, so it's got some use in some other areas of the game, but 310 cooldown, 100% land rate, decreased speed debuff, strong version into Chimera, that is premium as hell, dude. You want to keep decreased speed up against the boss at all times. Being able to deal some decent damage along the way as well. Not mind-blowing damage, but decent damage on a Blood Feather. It's pretty good. Like, it's a pretty good deal, man. And speaking of key debuffs to bring to the table, a champion who brings basically all of them, not really, but kind of all of them, at least a hell of a lot, is going to be Ruella. This is a fantastic progression epic champion. I've used it before into Chimera myself, actually, when I was just getting started on a free-to-play account project in the past. And she was pretty good, just because of this here too. It's the only thing that matters, right? It's rather bookable up to a 70% land rate on her debuffs. It's a triple hitter on the C2, and it brings decreased defense, weaken, and decreased speed debuff, all wrapped up in one skill. That's crazy as hell, man. Like, that's bloody good to have, you know? Like, just one champion taking care of all of these debuffs, so the rest of your guys can just focus on the heals, the revives, all of the other tools that are very important into Chimera. One champion covering all those bases is great. Now, it is on a 410 cooldown, this skill, but she, of course, brings timed offensive, which gives all kinds of 10-meter boost to your team as well, which is also another fantastic tool to take into Chimera. The faster your team is running, the better. And so when you've got yourself a Ruella on your team, your other two damage dealers can kind of be anything. I mean, look at that dude straight away, man. Very first turn, the boss just loaded up with those 3 key debuffs that we were just talking about. And then the rest of my team is kind of free to just do as much damage as they can possibly get in, which when you're in the early game and you're still just trying to progress into like hard mode Chimera and stuff for the first time and spend those keys and get those chests, all you kind of care about is damage and Chimera Clash and getting the chests, right? You're not too, or you shouldn't be too worried when you're just getting started into Chimera about doing the trials. Don't sweat that too much. Just getting higher grade chests and being able to take on higher levels of Chimera and get the best chests from those levels of Chimera is the most important part, right? That's what you should really be focusing in on. And Ruella does an amazing job of that. What can I say, dude? Oh, you got to be careful with affinities with Ruella. Of course, she just weak hit right there into the boss and failed to place the weaken debuff. That's one thing to be a little bit leery of, but there you go, man. Next up, man, a couple more off-meta champions that I can't review because I haven't built them. Suai, Firstborn of the Barbarians faction. Void Epic, that brings a decreased defense on a A1. Very, very nice. And attack all enemies, 100% land rate, decreased attack on her A2. And then she also brings the weaken, 100% land rate, 310 cooldown on the A3 as well. So again, she's sort of bringing like a trifecta of buffs that are just exceptionally powerful. And she's an attack champion, so she's going to help to boost up your damage quite a bit as well. She's not bad in a Demon Lord clan boss for all of the same reasons that she's good into Chimera as well. She can also find some use, at least into Dragon. Not a bad little epic champion overall. We've also got Aina as part of the Barbarians faction, which is a champion that, I'll be honest, I overlooked every single time, dude. On my main account, I got epics coming out my ears, obviously, on that main account, and I just chicken this epic all the time and don't think twice about it. But looking at her kit and just taking some time, she's pretty damn good into Chimera, dude. Double hit at A1, chance of getting an extra turn on the A1. She places the weaken debuff, and then she places the decreased defense debuff on the A3, 3-turn duration debuff on this A3, so it doesn't even matter that it's a 4-turn cooldown. She's going to have great uptime on this decreased defense. She's kind of like Suwai's little sister, right? She's like her little cousin, but another champion that can do very, very solid into the Chimera clan boss. Now, if you're lucky enough to have yourself a Whisper, yeah, just use it in Chimera clan boss. When it comes to just any kind of boss-killing epic champion, Whisper's gonna make the list. And yeah, she's exceptionally good at Chimera as well. She, of course, brings the weaken debuff at a pretty damn high land rate on this A1, but Whisper's real selling point is just the amount of extra turn that she gets from her, well, not just her A3, but also her passive as well. She's just a boss killer, dude. 10% chance of getting an extra turn whenever this champion lands a crit. So, like, all the time, she's going to have this extra 10% chance in all of her multi-hitters and increase the damage inflicted on bosses by 20%. She's just going to slay the Chimera and get you those chests. Next up, a champion that I do get to showcase now a little bit. I finally built out my Phoenix. So Phoenix is one of those guys. He's like a, like a B+ kind of damage dealer into Chimera. Very, very good. But the sad thing is that his, okay, I'll just break down his kit actually, man. It all starts with his A3, right? He brings an attack on one enemy, 60% chance, not increasable by books, which is sad. 60% chance of placing decreased defense and decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. It's also only bookable down to a 4-turn cooldown, which kind of stings a little bit. You're going to have to pair him up with another decreased speed champion that also brings like an unreliable decreased speed to get sort of maximum efficiency out of this skill and ensure that you're going to have decent decreased speed debuff uptime. And I know just the champ for that. Fenax does also have an extraordinarily hard-hitting A1, which is lovely if you pair him up with ally attack champions into Chimera. Champions like Farrakhan the Fat, for example, another great Chimera champion. He also has an 80% land rate block buffs debuff on a 410 cooldown on his A2. Again, only 80%, not completely reliable, but he's a great starter damage dealer to take into Kimmy. And that champion pairing that you can throw Fenax in with into Chimera is none other than the most accessible support champion in this game, Haikatoon herself, right? Haikatoon, who features in the middle of this team right here, she brings a decreased speed debuff at like, is it like a 30 or something % land rate on her A1. She fails to land it against the boss right there, which is a little bit sad, but yeah, if you got your Haikatoon in your team as your speed aura lead, and she's not the worst champion to take into Chimera Clan Boss, as she does land the decreased speed here with the A1. She's not the worst. If you got the Fenax, man, to pair up with the Haikatoon, it could be pretty damn good for getting you started, right? Combine both those champions together and you've got a decent amount of uptime on the decreased speed debuff. This is actually a pairing that I'm showcasing right now on my main account, of course, and my Fenax. He doesn't even have accessories equipped, by the way. Like, he's not actually built, so pay no attention to his crap damage numbers as he weak hits for like 10Ks. This is a combo that I'm going to be using very soon on my own free-to-play account, man, where I did pull the Fenax and I have built out my Haikatoon up to level 60, and so there you go, man. Maybe proof of concept coming in very soon as our big man does land the decreased speed and the decreased defense debuffs right on cue. And so, yeah, Greek champion can give you some early game progression into Chimera. Next up, man, we've got Duck the Pierced, and of course his big brother Stag Knight, who's basically Duck the Pierced, but just better for placing the decreased speed debuff. But Duck the Pierced is better against waves because he brings Provoke on his A3. Whatever. The point is that both Stag Knight and Duck the Pierced bring a very similar, almost identical A2, where they're both placing strong versions of decreased attack and decreased defense all up and against the boss. For that reason alone, Duck the Pierced could be a damn good addition to bring along into Chimera. Remarkably, even on my main account, I just don't have my Stag Knight built yet. I've just never actually needed him. You know, by the time I pulled him, my account was quite mature at that point. But yeah, his A2 is very similar. Decreased defense, decreased attack, great tools to bring against Chimera. For me, Stag Knight, a little bit better into Chimera, of course, because he's bringing a pretty damn reliable way of just keeping up decreased speed at all times against the boss with a double hitter. Each hit, 50% chance fully booked of placing decreased speed against the boss. And the good thing, to be fair, man, about running a Duck the Pierced is that because he brings the decreased attack debuff, it's a lovely, like, nice to have tool when you're getting started. Into Chimera, in my opinion, it's quite low priority when you're just getting started. It's a great debuff to bring when you're progressing into harder stages. It becomes more and more necessary to bring a decreased attack. But early on, it's a nice to have because it reduces the amount of healing that you need on your team, right? So as we run this team in here, we've got the Duck. He's going to be placing the decreased defense and the decreased attack. As he tried to provoke the Hydra, okay, I forgot to disable his A3. Disable your Duck the Pierced's A3 if you're going to use him into Hydra. It's completely useless. It's not going to do a whole lot besides place like a reflect damage buff on himself or something. Not a big deal. But what it makes it is so that your team needs less healing, and so you can get away with just running one healer, right? You can just have something like maybe an Ugo and a Tagore might be more than enough healing, or just like a lone Rector Drath might be more than enough healing. You know what I mean? Like, you can get away with a lot more when you've got a consistent decreased attack debuffer all up and on your team. And yeah, that's Duck. I love the guy. He doesn't get spotlighted anywhere near enough, man. So this is his moment, and he's doing great. Next up, man, a champion that I touched on a little bit earlier on. Frankly, one of the best epic champions in the game into Chimera. And it just happens that he's another champion that I pulled so late on my main account that I just had no need to build out my Farrakhan the Fat. It's frankly embarrassing. I think I've just got to get it done to be able to call myself a proper content creator at this point for Raid, man. Farrakhan's nuts, right? Decreased defense on the A1, poison and HP burn on the A2, and then a big old ally attack on the A3. Why is this so good, right? He brings some like decent tools, like anti-boss tools, the decreased defense, the burns and stuff like that. It's so good because the burns, the poisons, the decreased defense, and the ally attack skill are all required for Chimera trials. These are easy trial victories, man, for just increasing the quality of loot that you get from Chimera. So not only is he going to help you out with damage and all of that good stuff, but he's ticking a lot of trial boxes as well, man. In fact, like some of the better Chimera teams in the game, I believe, like from like more high-end accounts and stuff like that, still make pretty good use of Farrakhan the Fat for just farming as many trials as humanly possible. And so that's really testament to just how many boxes that he checks with the Chimera trial system. Not that that should be your focus when you're just getting started in Kimi, but it's good to know that he has a lot of longevity on your account in this particular game mode. I mean, he's amazing in Definer and Clan Boss as well, you know, so you're always going to get a lot of use out of Farrakhan the Fat. Getting quickly onto honorable mention territory right here, Tagore is a fantastic champion as well, brings increased speed and a little bit of healing on his A2, and brings a revive on the A3 as well. This is a champion I just took up to 6 stars on my free-to-play account, so he's level 1 at 6 stars, so I can't showcase him right here, but yeah, great champion, great reviver to take into Chimera. Do not rely on his healing to completely look after your team on its own. It's a 310 cooldown, 15% heal. It's not a lot, right? He's going to need a bit of extra support when it comes to keeping your team alive against Chimera. Great champion overall. Another champion that's often overlooked is Old Hermit Yorg, right beside Tagore. He brings an HP burn on his A1, which is a very nice to have on his support champ like this. Brings increased attack, 10 meter boost on his A2, and then he takes care of the revive as well on the A3. So not bad, man. Another sort of like B tier support. Basically every Chimera team needs a reviver on side, whether it's Old Hermit Yorg or Tagore or Rector Drath or whatever. Everyone pretty much needs one to get through the Ram form. Can't possibly shout out revivers without touching on Ursula the Mourner as well, who brings obviously a fantastic revive, buffing with increased defense and strengthen on all allies for 3 turns when she pops this A3, so not just reviving. Nuts, right? And she also brings good old decreased attack debuff against the Chimera and increased attack buff for your allies on her A2 as well. Takes up a hell of a lot of bucks, but this is like cream of the crop in terms of epic champion quality revivers in this game. So there you go. Next up, man, Siege Hulk, another sort of honorable mention. I really make a point in anytime like I do an account takeover talking about Chimera Clan Boss, I try to stress the point is just how important it is to bring a reliable decreased speed champion, meaning either a very good decreased speed on an A1 skill, or a 310 cooldown, 100% land rate, strong decreased speed debuff on at least one of your champions. Siege Hulk of the Ogren Tribes faction brings that right with the 310 cooldown on his A3. Very nice. Also self buffs with increased crit rate and increased crit damage. Smacks for all kinds of damage. This guy, pretty good. He also brings decreased defense and self buffs with increased attack as well on his A2. So good damage from Siege Hulk. He's not going to be like a runaway damage dealer, but decent damage, and most importantly, that reliable decreased speed debuff from him. And to the surprise of no one, also from the Ogren Tribes faction, Ugo. She shows up everywhere, man. Just one of the best champs in the game. Frankly, very good. Honestly, the healing from your Ugo might surprise you if you've got a team that's running very fast, right? A lot of 10 meter boost, a lot of increased speed buffs, decreased speed on the Chimera Clan Boss. Your team can be running so fast that in the lower stages of Chimera, you might even be able to get away with running Ugo as a solo healer as long as you have like a Yorg or something to take care of revives in case anybody drops. But the Ugo, Leech debuff on the A1, this can be very good for a fast-moving team into Chimera. She also brings the heals and debuff removal on the A3 as well. 410 cooldown, big old heal, 20% of Ugo's max HP. She also removes heal reduction plus one other random debuff, and heal reduction is a problem against Viper form, I believe. And of course, on top of all of that, also brings decreased defense and the block buffs debuff as well on a 310. On the A2, like Ugo, I know she just does it all, right? She's an amazing Hydra support, and so you're never going to regret building out your Ugo anyway. Might as well make use of it if you are in the early game-ish into Chimera. You'll find great use out of this champion, man. Now, this is the part of the video where I start to worry about what champions I've missed. But you know what? I'm going to pass it on over to you guys because I gotta get to the gym, man. It's getting late. It's actually 2 in the morning over here. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna be waking up the neighbors and everything right now. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you also enjoyed this one. If you feel like I missed any champions in this list, go ahead and plop them down below in the comments. And while you're down there, remember that the beginner promo link, just the best beginner promo link in the world, is down below, rather, at the top of the video description box, man. Use that link if you ever look to create a new raid account, or send that link to a friend if you're trying to get a friend to jumpstart their account in Raid Shadow Legends and get them off to the best start possible with like a double legendary day 1 opener, as long as they use beginner promo code Demon Slayer, as well as a whole bunch of epics as they level up their account as well. Thanks for stopping by. Now I'm going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.